Yes, that's so awesome. I love that, and it's not actually the pre-show. No wife aggro.
Welcome.
Welcome to Beyond the Rift, hosted by BL Gaming, and I'm your host, Demon Machine, with my co-host Revel.
Yo.
And we will be bringing you the top 5, or the not top 5 news, the news real quick, and then we will get to our guests and talk about all sorts of fun things like that.
Absolutely.
Coming up on the list of things to talk about was the WOGL. They had a little bit of a tiff with the with Juice Gaming, where there was a 3 versus 5 due to disconnects. Juice tried to get in some substitutes by logging into the accounts that were already on there. It didn't quite work out, and so they ended up winning the 3 versus 5. Then they got in trouble. They got the win approved, and then the win was overturned, and then they got mad, and everybody started yelling, and their children were covering their ears, and it was just horrible. And so then a hurricane hit the East Coast, and then you hit me in the face with that, you jerk. And so, yeah, they had a temporary suspension, and that's that. Onwards to other topics, or other things, which I do not have brought up, of course.
Really?
BLG, of course, wins Paris. Woo! BLG.eu.
Yeah,
Paris. They won 2,500 euros at Paris, and they had a great time.
Like
and Sayo was supposed to be with us tonight, but he has fallen ill, and so he had to go to bed because he just couldn't. He couldn't stay awake. And so the rest of them are, of course, all 3 a.m. in the morning, so they were not prepared for this, and they are also in bed. So we'll have an interview with them at some point and have all sorts of information about that.
Yeah, it was really cool. They like you can see the videos. I think
Hi-Rez has
Bart or Duke posted a video.
Yep.
About it. It was. I mean, it was really cool. Check out. You can see a picture on BLGaming.com. It's a few ones down now, and yeah.
Yep.
It was really cool.
And in some other drama-related news, Reason Gaming got their spectator modes revoked.
Oh.
Everybody except for Fixie, due to the apparently there's a bug in spectator mode, and so it allowed them to desert games and not get deserter status, and some of them abused that. 1, 2, I don't know how many. I didn't read exactly about it. And so Hi-Rez took it from them. So not too good.
Nope.
Not too good. But
game
so
mode.
there's another game mode under construction.
Game mode.
And this is not Arena, and it's supposed to be a little bit longer than Arena, a little bit shorter, or still shorter than Conquest. And I think it's Horde mode, personally, because every time I asked him, he said it was not Horde mode that was coming out, which was Arena. And so I think it is Horde mode this time. That's just me, because now it will be. And my cat's dying to get inside because it's freezing out there. What else is going on?
I have an exclusive here. It will be something similar to Horde mode. It's actually just a whole bunch of Minotaurs all crashing together at the minute.
It is.
It's going to be
exactly
great.
So, of course, you know, in the latest patch notes, they changed the queuing system, and it went horribly wrong, where there's, like, teams playing 3-on-5, where
and
it actually
winning.
pulled 3 people. It pulled 3 people, and it's like, that's your team. You don't get anybody else. These people didn't disconnect. We're just not gonna include them. I mean, you guys are so awesome. You can win this, and they did. And so matchmaking's perfect. Why are you complaining? It's beautiful. If 3 guys beat 5, what happens when it's 1 guy? What if it's like Shing versus all the noobs? He should be able to solo that, right? So, you know, it's working great. What are you guys complaining about? So, needless to say, they rolled it back. They said, we're going to try and fix this. And apparently they fixed it. And so now they re-rolled it back out. And that's what we're kind of supposedly on right now. And that's that for that one. Also, the arena stats have been confirmed. They will be doing a stats page for the arena matches. So look forward to that. So that way we can say how unbalanced certain gods are, because you'll see all the victories with all the different gods that are in there. And that about covers it for right now.
Yep.
So
that was our quick run over of the news.
Glad you guys enjoyed that. Of course,
did.
here we have our lovely little picture of Loki, because we're going to talk about him, and we're going to talk about Arena, because you've had a week to play all of them, and it's been so exciting. So here we go. We're going to introduce our guests. We have with us... There we go.
Yeah, there
RedV1per from Team Explanity. Yes. And then, of course, you know Alakai. And then DopeHoneyBadger from Team Dynamite, because he likes to go... Exactly.
That's what he does in his free time. Just
yes, he loves to be a creeper. I mean, if you give him a camera and make the hat a little lower, I mean, come on, you could totally be a creeper. You just put a hoodie on and put your hat lower and get a camera and sit behind a bush.
So really saying, if he looks like you,
exactly. You know, okay, on a very, very side note, one time we were in Kentucky with my wife's family.
Oh, do tell.
And so we were walking around downtown Kentucky, or downtown London, Kentucky, which consists of like one store.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got back and we were watching the news, and they were looking for a child predator, and they put a picture of him on the thingy, and they're like, yeah, he's wearing a white shirt and tan pants, and he's about 6 foot tall. He's white. He's got a goatee. He's got short hair, and and my in-laws and everybody looked at me, and they're like, "Where have you been?" Like, I was with her. So yeah, needless to say, I didn't go outside anymore, and it also answered why all the people that were driving by were looking at me funny. So yeah. So welcome, gentlemen. How are you enjoying being on the show thus far, even though you haven't had a chance to say anything?
Quite intriguing.
I'm glad you're having fun. So what do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the patch notes first? Or the patch note, maybe?
Oh, you mean the non-true damage?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Who would like to explain that one? Alakite? RedV1per?
Basically, his decoy and his 3, I don't know what it's called, were dealing true damage for whatever
awesome.
reason. Which
was
is pretty
so
damn
awesome.
strong, especially since the bases are insanely high. But I guess that's about it for Loki.
Yeah, that was it. That was pretty much it.
That pretty much covers it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, other than that, matchmaking, have you guys experienced the 3 versus 5 or 2 versus or 4 or whatever versus 5? Or has it worked well for you?
No,
I'm pretty sure they rolled it. Oh.
I don't know. They must have fixed it before I started doing it. The only thing I know is, like, you know how it used to show, like, your elo, like, everybody's, like, randomly in different spots now. I don't know what's going on with that.
So now we can no longer tell who's the top elo by who's on top.
Right.
Oh, that just sucks.
Really?
Yep. It's
Interesting.
Man.
Interesting.
Now I can't be on the bottom and be like, sweet.
Yay, I'm going to get carried. Exactly. I hate it when I'm on the top because I'm like, shit, I have to do well. This is terrible.
Yep, and so they fixed matchmaking. Apparently, all my games were unmatched correctly, including the game where I got in a game with J.K. Kennedy is in our chat, Hi-Res Duke, Hi-Res Bart, the best on Smite, and I got disconnected and couldn't get back. So, matchmaking works fine. Time Warner, dying of fire. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
So, let's go with, RedV1per, tell us about you and your team. I need to know more about you.
Mm-hmm.
well, basically, I was playing with trying to get on a couple other teams. I got in kind of late, I guess, to the competitive scene. Like, I've been playing pretty much almost since it came out. Like, it probably was out 3 weeks when I started. But all the teams, like, started forming fairly quick. I think most of the guys came from other games that already played together.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of solo queue, so I have a lot of losses, like, from the beginning. But I guess since I couldn't get on a solid team, like, the teams had already pretty much been formed with the best players, so I decided to just kind of throw it out there and be like, hey, you know, let's put a team together. I'm going to put a team together, and, you know, even if they're not good, at least train them and see if we can get something going, because there's a lot of people interested in wanting to be on a team, but they're really not at that competitive level. So I had a couple of my friends that already played games. So I'm like, hey guys, let's put this together and see if we can get a team. Even though we're not the best, right now we still haven't won a single scrim or a match yet. We're still working on our gameplay and such like that. A lot of our guys still aren't even level 30 yet. We're still in like the low 20s with not that many games played. But the whole idea behind our team, I guess, is to I guess we're just kind of like, I guess, the underdog, so to speak. We're also going to start an EU team, just to kind of we have another guy that's the captain of that, and we're putting together an EU team so that we can kind of do the same thing with that. We actually held tryouts through the stream. I don't know if anybody saw that, but we were just like, hey, you know, if you're in the stream, come try out. Let's do that. So
Cool.
the EU is going to do the same thing. We're going to have a sorry, I laughed at that too.
I see what you're laughing at.
What?
Sorry,
Jeremy being a douche in the chat.
Oh, awesome. Wait, I'm missing this? God.
Oh, we love you, Jeremy.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, it's the same idea. Like, anybody can try out. It doesn't matter what skill level you are. We're gonna get a whole team together and just, you know, get some experienced guys to help train them up, and get into the competitive scene. So we're kind of like, I guess, a way in to the competitive scene. We just want to really help other people out that really aren't at that level, you know, because I want to see the community grow and the game grow, and more competitive teams out there, because I love the game. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
Oh, yeah.
it's I mean, I'm hoping for us to have a good showing about mid-season. Right now, we're probably going to get face rolled for the first few games, but we're going to try our best to hit our stride about mid-season and get our game together.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean,
You know,
this
don't
is
discount or
that's
Go.
exactly what we
You know,
want.
don't
We want
discount
all
this.
sorts of new teams. You know.
Go, Alec.
Now you can go. I'm done.
That's saying don't discount yourself. Yeah, I mean, you know, I was spectating those games versus Juice, and you know that first game, the second game didn't go that well, but the first game, you know,
The pause is what really
the first
says
game,
it.
you guys were holding out with Juice very well. You know, one of the, I guess, top teams in the game right now, well, at least one of the well-known teams. So, you know, holding off against them pretty well so far. So don't count yourself out just yet.
Yeah, you got a lot of fight in you. Just
Yeah.
keep wearing red shirts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Red for all the blood that you're going to splatter on yourself after you chop
Yes.
through the competition.
Yes. Absolutely.
Explanity versus focus. So where did you come up with the name Explanity? You have to
Um,
explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, basically, I couldn't come up with a cool name, so I was like, I'm just going to make up a word that doesn't exist yet.
That is
In the
awesome.
word explanity, I put explain and insanity together, so our motto is, we're too insane to explain.
That is hilarious.
Kudos for making up a new word. I don't really care how you got there. You just made a new word,
That-
so that's awesome.
That's very good. Very good. So, Mr. Honey Badger.
God damn it.
Dope Honey Badger. Because there is another Honey
There is
Badger.
a Honey Badger and Dope Honey Badger. They are not the same people.
No, they are not.
I am
not-
thinking of changing my name because there has been a lot of conflicts because of that.
Yes. I
Yeah.
can imagine.
Yeah,
So tell us about yourself and Team Dynamite.
myself and my team. There's not much to myself. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
you
remember
just
how I got into this game, but
Who am
my
I?
Team,
Why am I here?
I think I got like pretty good at the game, and I started looking for a team, and I just randomly met what's he called? I forgot. He's the old team leader, who made the team with some other guy that I don't remember his name either. Kind of just joined the team. They had one spot left, and I got it, and I don't know. I just got stuck with it since that. We're a rather new team. We haven't really won anything yet. We're in the WOGL season, and expect us to, I don't know, lose the bracket rather fast or something. I don't know. we're not really that
Gotcha.
good. We're pretty new, so.
Oh, don't
Gotcha.
worry about it. Don't worry about
Hey,
it.
hey.
Just don't bowl us over with your confidence. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
As Scoretag is saying, we are kind of leading our group right now. I don't know if it's a problem with the WOGL or what's going on in there. We're the only team in our bracket who has finished the game and we won, so we're leading with 3 points over nothing.
When you say finished a game, do you mean like actually completed a match or what?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
What are you talking
yeah,
about?
we're
How
the
c-
only ones with points in our league since I don't know now.
All right.
In our,
Fascinating.
bracket, I mean
Fascinating.
group.
I'm amused. So, Arena, 1 week later. Thoughts? I mean,
What do you guys like about the arena? I mean, I think it's fucking awesome. I have a blast with it. It's one of the game modes I can play with my son, and I don't get mad at him because he's not going and doing objectives properly. It's go kill. Just go in there and kill people. And that's
they
what
are
he's great at.
Yes, they are very good at that.
And so, I mean, it's really hard to do hard. No, it's not. You can really do bad in that game.
Oh yeah, really easily.
You-
But
It's very punishing.
one of the things, before I let our awesome guest here go for it, one of the things I really, really liked about Arena was the fact that beyond the actual killing, there was actually more there. There was a whole crowd. The crowd reacted to your kills. They cheered. There are double kills. They're like, ah, triple kills. They're like, ah! You know, they go like hog wild about death. You know, they're like, yes, people die.
It's like an actual gladiator
Yeah.
arena.
And I'm like, awesome.
Yes.
Now you just need to take that focus and put it on your conquest mode.
Hmm.
Maybe not necessarily the like people cheering, but something more.
Well, I don't think you have the people cheering in the conquest mode because
right,
people
right.
like to hear jungle.
Double kill.
Well, they want to hear people in the jungle. You are just annoying.
Ah!
God.
So, what do you guys think about it? Alec, you go first. No.
it's really fun, but I feel like it's really hard to come back when losing a game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you get about 50 points down, it's almost impossible to come back, which, I don't know, I really wish it was easier to come back. Sure, you get a bit longer respawn timers, but as long as it's not over like 50 to 100, you're not going to get into the point where it actually matters. I've had like minute-long respawn times, which really suck, by being about 200 ahead. But I mean, again, if you're about 50 ahead, there's no way they're catching up. And I mean, I shouldn't say there's no way. It's just, pretty rare to see people catch up.
Right.
I don't know. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it just seems really hard, hard in my opinion.
Yeah. It's interesting that if you don't die, your respawn time when you do die keeps getting longer. So a possible thing is if your team is doing really terrible and then somehow deicides the other team, you basically win at that point.
Last time I checked, the respawn isn't a timer. It respawns everybody at 16 seconds. So no matter how long,
No.
It's not that?
No.
Okay. I forget who did it, but someone went over it and confirmed it. But basically, the more tickets you're up, the longer your team's entire respawn timer is, because everyone spawns at the same time. So the longer, I guess the more tickets you're up compared to the enemy team, the longer the global respawn is.
Nice. Yeah. So if you're really far behind and you deicide the other team, you have a minute and you just basically win at that point. It's really, really amusing.
Interesting.
Granted, you'd have to deicide the team, but
it's possible when you
you.
have the the Ares on her, or the Ares Ymir.
I have been seeing
bowling
a
ball.
lot of Ares in Arena.
Oh yeah, of course.
A lot of Ares.
What? Okay, who's your
very
favorite
good
god
at
in the arena, Viper?
Man, it has to be. I don't know. It might be Zeus. If you do Zeus Odin, oh my gosh, it's too much fun.
Alakite, what's yours?
I think it's Ares. I've really been having just an obsession with Ares lately. I think he's so cool. Just pulling people is so entertaining, especially if you're like a prepared 5 in arena against 5 randoms, I guess. It sounds really bad trying to say, I enjoy stomping, but it's really fun because then you just get an amazing Ares pull and like instant kill them.
Yeah. So is there something about Colorado, or is it the fact that they passed the marijuana law that makes you say Ares?
Yeah.
Because you said Ares, and like,
what
about
Ares or Ares? I don't know. I just say it however I say it. I've
you
always
weird
said it
kid,
like this.
Justin Bieber looking mother. Anyway, Dope. How are you? What do you think is the best god in the arena?
I really don't know. I have so much fun playing it, so I really don't know. I like to play any god in arena because everything is so much fun. I guess my favorite is Odin because you can man mode so much. It's retarded.
I love Odin. Oh yeah, so that's one of my projects at work now. Is I'm going to make myself an Odin helmet because I have all sorts of time and metal and steel and cutting and welding and torch tools that I'm going to make myself like some sort of horns to wear on the show that when I'll take to events and stuff too, you better not with me because they will stab you. And they will hurt. So we have a question on the chat. They want us to talk about the turn minions. Now here's the question for you, Ames. Are you talking turn minions in the Conquest or Arena? Because isn't it kind of counterproductive to use turn minions in the Arena? Because if you turn them, then suddenly they have 5 more minions to kill. And so then you tick down faster. So I'm assuming...
Conquest.
I'm assuming it's Conquest.
All right, so what do you think?
Conquest, yes.
DopeHoneyBadger.
What I think about turn minions,
Yeah.
I think it's a weird ability. I think the only reason you should get it is if you want to have fun and pretty much fail everything else. I mean, you could turn the minions, but you're gonna lose a whole wave of XP. Plus, you're gonna give it to the enemy. So unless you kill him right away, you lost. That's it.
Interesting.
So
Viper, what do you think about turn minions?
I don't know. It's very situational, but I think because there's only 2 ability slots, it's a complete waste. The only reason it would be used is basically really super early game. what you can do is you can chase somebody, turn all their minions, but it's like, say they hit you with an ability that aggroes all the minions, and say you have like a stun, like Anubis or somebody like that, you can stun them, and then all the minions hit them, and it will kill them pretty much instantly.
And then you take a tower.
So it's really good for early game. And then if you're pushing a tower, say like the other team B's, you turn all their minions, you can push their tower almost instantly because you have 2 waves to push it. So it's really good for tower pushing. But honestly, it's a complete waste of item in most cases. I could see maybe a tank picking it up. But because sometimes I feel like tanks, they can get away with only getting 1 ability, really. But I think most of the DPS ones need at least 2 abilities. Like a lot of the melees will pick up like Hand of the Gods, Creeping Curse, maybe Aegis, beads, depending on the situation. But with only 2 ability slots, I feel like it's a complete waste.
Yeah, man, that Hand of Gods, so strong. So strong now. Because for those of you who don't know what it does now, its passive is, you have the normal Hand of Gods ability, and then once you use it, you get more damage on minions, and every time you hit a minion, you get 10 health. So it's more or less like having the health buff. If you attack right around that speed, maybe a little faster depending on who you are. So it's essentially like when there's minions to hit, you have the health buff. So strong.
Alakite, what do you think about turn minions? Useless item?
I'm gonna go on the other side. I more play devil's advocate than actually, I don't know, argue on this side. But I feel like turn minion can be used in, you know, other situations. People are just saying, oh, it's, you know, pigeonhole mid strategy. I feel like if you take it on a lot of people, like 3 people, very fast roamers, and just kind of run around the map split pushing a whole bunch, like maybe Wukong, Vamana, and just split push a whole bunch, using turn minion when you get to the turret and just, you know, letting them destroy that, I feel like you're in a pretty good position, actually. And you have to remember that the passive gives you that 20 extra whatever bonus. So when you're attacking a Phoenix, whatchamacallit, the archers can take 1 extra hit. So basically, if you run around with a whole bunch of roamers, grab a few whatchamacallits, and run around. Again, I'm not saying it's the most viable strategy ever in competitive games. I'm just saying it's a strategy, you know?
Yeah, you can also push towers behind other towers. Like, you can like go and intercept their wave, use that wave to come in from both sides. I mean, you can do some really crazy stuff with it.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that it's, you know, high viable or the number 1 viable high elo strategy. I'm just saying there are other things you can do with it than just, you know, running around mid and trying to kill them super early.
Now, Viper, is that your girlfriend behind you that keeps walking back and forth? We didn't hear you. Did you mute yourself?
Yeah.
That's my wife.
Oh, your wife? Okay. Does she realize you are streaming? Because I'm afraid that she's going to run back there naked.
No. It won't happen. She knows.
Okay. Because, you know, I mean, you know, I'd hate to get my stream shut down because she runs back there naked. But granted, everybody else here would be really happy. Granted, see, that's the dumb things like that I kind of wonder. It's like, you're going to watch the stream and be like, oh my God, this happened on the stream. It's like there are entire sites dedicated to naked women. Why are you going to, like, freak out about this here? So anyway, continuing on to something useful.
Yes, entire sites, like half the internet.
Yeah, like 2/3 of the internet. It's
yeah, just a few out there.
Yes, you did come in at the wrong moment, honey. You don't just you. No, you don't. You don't need to watch.
Timing is everything.
God,
timing.
I get in trouble with my wife talking about your wife, and God.
Yes, I can see how that would happen.
You shush. You shush.
Dig that hole deeper, sir. Dig that hole deeper.
I can get a backhoe. Oh God.
Okay, so moving on. ESL is having the Battlegrounds of the Gods #2 tournament coming up on Sunday. You know, go sign up for that. I'll probably link it in chat.
Yes, please do.
Expect
it has like 6 people right now, or 6 teams. Want to get as many teams as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah, link that in chat so that all of our team captains can go and sign up for that.
There it is.
Ta-da. So that all of you guys can play our BLG.eu team.
Yes.
It'll be fun. Good times.
If they sign up.
There is a feline behind us. And there it is.
It needs to be not in here.
All right, so.
One's so cute.
While we are on the topic of esports, Alakite, what good games have you seen recently? I know you've been streaming some.
I've been spectating some. The ESL, the Battleground of the Gods, finals is pretty good between BLG.eu and BM. BLG.eu did their 480 strategy for a second time in a row and actually won the game again, which is kind of entertaining in my opinion. Love you BM, but I just found that entertaining. Actually, I casted a scrim between, what was it, Zapman's team and Juice Gaming the other day. It was actually pretty good. Zapman's team was down by like 8,000 gold the entire game, but kept having these comebacks, and then it went on for like 40 minutes. So it's kind of entertaining to watch.
That's quite the gulf in between at that level. I think we might have a caller here.
Yes, as soon as he picks up, we will have a caller. Which is kind of ironic. I guess it could be technically called a caller.
Yes,
so hello, Baz. How are you doing? You wanted to ask a question or comment about the Tarn minions and then issue a challenge, you say?
Yes. Good job, by the way, guys. Keep it up.
Thank you.
The Turn minions is, I'm not sure what you guys were actually talking about, so I had to step away, so I'm not sure if you guys covered this. But I've been playing using Alquan in mid and just completely decimating mid really, really quickly. There was, I think my record right now is 1 minute 36 second tower.
Wow.
With Al Kwong, and in practice, I got it down to 44 seconds.
Wow.
So, my challenge to your guys' viewers is to see who can beat that.
You heard it! There's the challenge.
So, since you've been practicing with that, tell us, how does that transition into later in the game? What does the effect of such an early tower have?
It basically allows me to roam a little bit more, like really, really early on. It offers a little bit more ganking potential.
And it also gets you guys a lot of money faster. Because, tower's worth a lot of money.
I mean, like, a minute...
I think...
To have a tower down that quickly, yeah. The late game, it kind of falls off a little bit, but I think Turn Minions is still a pretty good ability if used correctly. So,
Alakite?
I was going to say, I don't know. I don't think Ao Kang would be the best for that, just because even if you get the tower down that early, you go and gank with Ao Kang, and
get killed.
He has one CC ability that's can be easily avoided, in my opinion. So I feel like he's, I think if you maybe did raw mid and maxed his 3 with Turn Minion, it might be a little bit better, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, Al Kwong is my favorite, so I figured I'd try it with him first. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, cool. We will issue that challenge, and thank you for your call, sir.
No problem, guys. Take care.
You too. So you do have calls. Feel free to call us up on Skype at perfect.rain. There we go.
Yes, indeed.
All of those things at once. What else did we want to discuss today?
Yes, what did we want to discuss? You guys can feel free to pop in anything. Alakite, I know you have burning questions about when you are...
the only one I wanted to do is the Battleground of the Gods for ESL, because I was pretty excited. I got to cast the last one.
Awesome.
And I had some fun with that. I'm trying to see if I can cast the next one for ESL, but we'll see.
So, I'm curious, what was your guys' opinion on the WOGL thing? Like, with what happened with Juice, Viper, or HoneyBadger? Like, do you think that
you're talking about, like, the
when they
punishment, or...
Yeah, all of it,
what
in
they
general.
decided to do?
Like, from what I understand, it was Juice won a 3v5, even though they tried to get a sub in. Did they get a sub actually in the game? Or did it not work out for them and they just couldn't get it to work at all, so it was just 3v5? Right?
From what I understood, they had the people that apparently they said the 2 guys got DDoSed for the entire period of it, but they eventually had other people log on the other account. So at one point near the end of the game, I believe that they were all on it, because I did catch the game. I was watching it, and I thought it was kind of interesting how that happened. Personally, like, if people are getting DDoS and stuff like that, like, I would prefer to see, like, a rematch or something. But then again, you can't tell, if they're getting DDoS by somebody, or say that they're losing, all of a sudden, like, they fake a DDoS. But I'm fairly certain, if I remember watching the game, that they are fairly far ahead anyway when they got DDoS. So it wouldn't have even mattered to fake a DDoS. So I mean, if they would have been okay with that, I think like a rematch or something would have been okay. But as for them logging on to the thing, like, I mean, I know it's against the rules and stuff like that, but it was like a desperate
was
situation.
it?
I don't really know. But I would just prefer them to have done a rematch or something other than what they did.
Yeah, the other question was it specifically spelled out at that time that nobody else can log on your account to sub in for your connection issue?
That's the thing, is it wasn't in the rules. Like, I would guess that would be more of like a ethical thing. Like, you shouldn't do that. But like, it wasn't spelled out. So personally, because it wasn't in the rules, like, I don't think they should have gotten in trouble for it. I think that the rules should have been modified after that game to be more specific, because that is on their fault of not having, the specific enough rules, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there's with any online tournament, there is an innumerable amount of things that can happen that are just out of this world that you would never think of, that you would never think to write a rule for. And so there's this one giant rule that I think every tournament needs to run, which is common sense. If you're going to have these you're going to have these admins that you're going to be adminning the specific games. You need to give them the power and understand that they will make a snap decision on saying these guys won, these guys lost, and stuff like that.
Wait up. Okay, I'm going to correct you here. As Letters has been saying in this entire chat, the 5 minutes we've been ranting about this, the decision was not made by any of the Smite people or the WOGL admins as a whole. It was made by OL, the CEO of WOGL.
Yeah, I know. But that night...
I'm just saying.
The link I posted in the chat as well.
But wasn't it that night that...
I'm just saying, you make it seem like that the admins were running it badly, or...
No. Not at all.
Like, recalling this decision.
No, I thought didn't they make a different decision and then it was overruled?
Yeah.
Like, the person who was watching it at that very moment that was actually watching the game made one decision and said, Juice wins, here you go. And both teams agreed to it, and they were fine with it. And then the next day, it's just poof, So, I mean, they're going to get this sorted out, of course, and they should be able to avoid it for future.
But the thing is, now we have no admins for the tournament, I think.
Really?
So, wait. So, Letters left, and Jessica left from WOGL? Is that what I'm understanding?
As far as I understand.
So, who's left? Is it just Cooper and the
Coop?
I think it's Coop, yeah, he's the only one.
Oh man,
that's harsh. So
it really sucks.
Yeah.
So Letters or somebody, you like to call us up and explain? I mean, is there any particular reason why they left?
Yeah, I think
because if that just happened, I didn't read it because it must have posted like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
or maybe an hour ago.
Basically, he was saying, you guys can check that link out in chat. We'll post it in the VOD. Because I'd rather him use his words.
I would love for Letters to call us up and explain, why he left. Please do.
It's perfect.
It would.
Pig Glow. What a name. No, Pixie. That's not as cool.
Wait, let's get all this stuff. Go ahead and talk for a second.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was really weird. I was sad when I heard it. I'm like, man. Oh well. I mean, things happen. So.
All right. So Jerby wants to call us up and.
Hey.
I mean, he's a good person to talk to about this because he was there. So, Jerby, how are you doing tonight?
I am awesome.
First things first. Are you okay? I mean, obviously you're okay because you're talking, but
I mean, drinking right now.
Your house. I'm so sorry about your house. It burned down.
Thank you.
Did your
house burn down?
Did it burn down or did it just catch fire and you have to fix it?
So we have a starlit view now.
You what?
You have no roof.
I mean, no, it basically just whatever the fire didn't destroy on the roof of it, the fire department did.
Nice.
So the house is covered in about 2 foot of soot, and so basically right now we're just waiting for insurance to do their thing, getting all that done. But everybody got out safe. I got my computer.
Of
my
course.
roommate somehow got out a king size bed by himself. Everything's good.
Nice.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you're doing okay. So, what did you want to tell us about?
I'm glad you got your computer out.
Yes, getting the computer out is number one. Like, where it comes to a fire in our house, like, my wife knows that we throw the children out the window, we throw the animals out the window, and then I run for the computers, and that's just how it works.
Yeah.
Leave the kids, leave the beds. Just
no, they're already outside.
The kids are already thrown outside. I mean, I just open the window and chuck them out.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're good.
They bounce.
The main thing I wanted to point out, and not to overtake the show or anything like that, I did want to comment on the WOGL part for just a minute.
Yeah, please do.
So first and foremost, to clarify a lot of different issues for a lot of different people. Initially, when we were approached by it, I didn't even know anything was going on because obviously I had no connection. I log back on. I'm thinking that we're doing a 5v5 fight at Gold Fury. We win. Haha, everything's good. I chill out. Then all of a sudden I find out all the information. So it turns out the initial ticket on the match was put in several hours later, or not necessarily several hours later, but a while later by a third party on a different team. So we got with Coop on that issue and pulled the guy that put in the ticket into a Skype room, and we talked about it, and we found out that he wasn't even on the team. Okay, so then automatically Coop kind of sighs a little bit and says, "You guys win." Done. It wasn't until the next day, and after we had assumed that we won the game, we'll move on, rest of the season, no drama, no nothing, cool, whatever the case may be, rules broken, whatever. So I get up the next day, and automatically DM tells me that WOGL had overturned the decision, and I was kind of confused about it because for people that are trying to be such sticklers about the rules, they're kind of breaking their own rules. Because a ticket had to be put in at least 2 hours, or at the most 2 hours after a game. No ticket was submitted at least 2 hours after the game, so therefore everything is nullified, and so on and so forth. However, they took a step in as a judiciary force, or quote unquote OL or whatever the hell his name is, kind of stepped in and changed the rules on the fly and said, "Well, I've made a decision. You guys lose." And so that's what we were disappointed about, and that's what
I could see that.
all this dramatics have come about. This is the fact of instead of following rule by rule, or in the simple case of it was a rush decision on our part to pull somebody in, like that somebody up on our roster pulled in, especially when we got a tournament match going, and it's in the heat of the game. It's not necessarily, well, hold on, let's take a pause break here and go read the damn rule book. It was a decision that we brought him in. So after that, we did find out that a person from Red Viper's team did submit a ticket past the 2 hour mark. But aside from all that, Red Viper's team has been nothing but respectful in all this. Absolutely nothing but respectful. And yeah, really.
That wasn't my team, dude.
Well, your team even made a post about it. They did. But either way, neither here nor there.
What?
Quit confusing people.
I'm not a part of that team. We're not even in your bracket, dude.
Or
he's team explained.
Yeah.
Right. Whatever the team was.
Viper's like, what?
I don't remember that match. Continue.
Sorry, stupid moment, but I think it's just where we screamed you guys the other day. But
no.
But that was the only thing we were upset about, and we just thought it was very unprofessional as an organization to not necessarily adhere to the rules or change the rules or anything like that, but going into this as precarious as the situation is with Smite tournaments as they are right now. If you set a bad reputation, especially amongst the competitive gaming community here, and then other people see that these tournaments, especially the very few money tournaments that there are ran in such an unprofessional way. And I do say that they're unprofessional in that regard, with all respect, so I don't get banned for the next WOGL game.
See, that's kind of what I think is one of the things that's even bad right there, is the fact that you got to watch what you say, or you could get kicked out of the whole tournament. It's like,
I can see that.
That's disappointing. I mean, I'd expect that if I was running a tournament and I did a really shitty job, I'm going to get flamed for it, and I'm going to be like, sorry.
But you think you did a good job.
Right.
See,
I need the other people to convince me.
From the whole tournament?
I'm sorry?
What was your question,
No,
Red
it was
Viper?
just the,
It's just the one
whatchamacallit.
game?
Yeah, they got the
okay.
loss for that, and then they got their players banned for like a week.
Right. But and this is not to change the subject from the show or anything like that. It's just a future statement to anybody out there, especially those that are interested in running a tournament. Run a damn tournament. Run it the way you want to. Run it by rules that are fair. And if somebody breaks them, that's fine. Have a rule for it. Have your little judiciary committee, go for it, whatever the case may be. But in certain situations, you must make rules that do not cause a negative effect on the community. You cannot do that. If there is an issue, it should be handled accordingly, but it shouldn't just be, well, we're going to change our rules around, we're going to step up, we're going to do our own thing as a tournament host, and so now no faith is left in WOGL, in my opinion.
It's you can't just do the heavy-handed. This is just the way it is because I say it is, or
Right.
There's plenty of
negative
middle ground that
consequences
could be
throughout the
had.
community.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we're looking forward. Like I said, we're just looking to win out the rest of the tournament and burn the damn jerseys that we get. But I'm kidding.
They won't say WOGL on them.
no, they won't. Maybe I don't know.
Well, they might. They could.
No, my thing in general, this has like nothing to do with. I mean, I guess I shouldn't say it has nothing to do with WOGL, but just everything in general. We just need more tournaments because right now, any tournament can basically dominate the scene, and if you're a competitive team, that's the only opportunity you have. If you don't get to play in that tournament, well, you're losing out on experience. You're losing out on any prize that you could possibly win. Because there's no alternatives right now. If the tournament's run badly, you can't say, "Oh, I'm just not going to participate in it." Excuse me, not participate in that and then participate in another one because again, there's only one tournament basically being run at the moment. Some community-made tournaments, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess ESL. My bad.
ESL definitely counts as a tournament.
I thought
ESL counts as a tournament.
But I mean, thus far, they've had the. We'll just leave ESLs over in Europe.
Yeah,
those
over there.
crazy Europeans
So
and their craziness.
We have
so we want to get
online.
letters.
Thank you for your call.
Thanks, Derby.
Thank you,
All
Derby.
right, thank you, man. I appreciate having me here.
No problem.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
All right,
Dun, dun,
letter
dun.
Z. You are being
We're going to
called currently.
drop in.
You'll figure it
that's
out
an
before
adorable
you hear
puppy.
me,
Right.
but
There you go. Letters. Can you hear us? Is it letters or letter Z?
No, just letters, guys.
Thank you. I've been right this whole time, you jerk.
What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. So, give us your take and explanation of all of this stuff.
All right. I mean, I guess we could all start with the match. I guess that's the big controversy with Juice Gaming.
sure.
Yeah.
So I really was not home that night to see the match. But just like anyone else, I do have Skype on my iPhone.
Right.
And I was getting a lot of messages saying Juice cheated and whatnot. So, when I did get home, I talked to Coop about it, and Coop did say, they're having disconnection issues, and Backloud did connect. And I thought he actually connected on his account because he is on the roster.
Right.
But then they said that he connected on someone else's account and went from there. So just like any other, terms of service agreement with any other game, if you share accounts, that's prohibited.
Right.
And me personally, coming from a Counter-Strike background, if you share your account, you're gonna get banned. I mean, that's just plain and simple. So with the banning of the players, I mean, I personally think they could have got a slap on the wrist. What happened with that? Just because it's our first tournament, we want everyone to play in it. We want everyone to have fun. But that decision to ban was not our decision. It was strictly OWL's decision to ban. OWL didn't talk to me personally. Didn't talk to Jessica. He did that completely on his own. So I don't want anyone to say like, "Oh, Letters or Jessica did a bad decision."
Yeah. Okay.
Because that really wasn't us.
Fair enough.
Yeah, good to know.
It is.
So that was the banning decision. And the match being overturned, I mean, that's kind of straightforward. The Juice did really, really well. They won the 3 vs 5, and I give them mad respect, mad props. But with the count sharing, if you do that in any game, of course you're gonna get that match result overturned if you do win, and also a suspension. But just to let everyone know, it was OL's decision. It wasn't our decision at all.
Great.
Cool.
That is
Well,
good
glad
to
we
know.
know that. One thing that I kind of want to throw out there is like maybe a common sense-ish thing. If it was any other sport that wasn't on the internet, substitutions would be just fine. Which, in this particular esport, substituting somebody live in a game, like if you're playing basketball and one of your dudes breaks his ankle and falls out or has a disconnection issue, you're going to throw somebody else in to finish the game. So, I mean, I know it's against the terms of service and all that different things, but in a common sense issue, it sounds like that's almost reasonable. Unless it'd be great if they give us a way to just throw in somebody else into a live match, but that would just be ridiculous for the rest of the game. But it's.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be one of those things, our guy can't get on, so we're going to substitute him with somebody else right now in this game while we're playing it.
is part of the team.
Right, and he's even on the roster too. So that was what kind of was, one of those things. And then that's when you hopefully will believe that a company that is trying to push esports will also not get anally retentive about their terms of service and been like, it's just for this. They're not trying to abuse it for anything else. It's just a random bunch of circumstances that happen to coalesce into this mess. And so that's just what I think would have been reasonable.
That's a very, very good point. I mean, games that, football, first string, second string, third string.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to play your bad players so that they can disconnect and you can connect a good guy. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there was no malice in it. There was no intent to deceive or anything like that. It was just they were trying to get somebody in there to help them finish the game. And so after, if I was running this tournament, this had happened, I'd been like, all right, you guys won the game. It was a really good game, et cetera, et cetera. We'll give you guys the win if the other team agrees to it because they have to agree to it for this to work. And if that's the case, then we'll do that. But the rest of you guys, just try not to do this again. Please just don't do it again. No substituting like that. We'll substitute it by restarting the game.
Well, see, my thing is, a lot of people are using the argument like in other games where they could be like, or they could just, have other friends that are better than them come on an account and make them better. But if he's already on the roster, he could have been playing in the first place. So
right, that's the point. He could have been playing in the first place.
I don't understand why it's a huge deal.
That's one of the biggest reasons.
If they wanted him to play, they could have just put him in. And then, common sense. Juice is one of the highest teams up there. Backlow is just as good as DM is. So, they're not really. I guess Backlow and DM play the same role. Whatever, but. It's not like they're really gaining or losing anything by switching them out.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm playing with, BLG noobs and then I DC and bring on Shing or KO or something like that, where it's like, holy crap. Yes, they're going to whoop your ass.
You just got so much better.
This is amazing. You are just awesome. And you got really quiet on the Skype. That's kind of odd.
I totally understand, I guess, both sides of it because I guess... from one perspective, you can't tell who really logged on to that account unless you had access to the IP of who logged on.
Right.
So there's no saying, well, he was the guy that logged on. More than likely he was. He probably was the guy that did log on, which is totally wouldn't think. Just like you were saying with teams swapping in a player when somebody gets hurt. That's totally a common sense thing. Like I probably would have thought the same thing as them. And plus, in a game like Smite. If you are losing a guy for a little bit, just a minute out, you can lose a couple of levels. So for them to even have guys to log in and still win it, that still says a lot about their team to really pull together and compete. So I still would have gave them the win, even though it was kind of like that. I guess like they said, ask both teams.
Yeah.
Like, hey, is this okay? Are you okay with this? And then go from there. Because the thing I really don't want to happen is basically the people that are running the tournaments, they can ruin the Smite community. They can ruin it. Like if they don't run it right and they don't, have their stuff together, it'll ruin the Smite community because nobody's going to want to compete.
Right.
I want to compete
in something that's not organized.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it can negatively affect everybody on accident, and so we don't want that to happen. So, all right. Well, thank you, Letters. Do you have anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, I mean, just I agree with what Viper just said and what else I just said. If but OL did not, he did not ask us our opinion on that. I did talk to Coop about that, but that's as far as it went. I would have loved to see a bigger discussion with the team captains and us included.
Yeah.
To see how they wanted the outcome to go, but. Unfortunately, that's not how it was handled. So, that's how WOGL is, I guess.
Yeah, and those are some awesome tattoos. If
I know
those are.
you are quite the ink pan. I am very impressed, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very impressed. So,
all right. Well, thank
you very much for joining us, Letters.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep. No problem. I want to make sure we get all sides of the version. So, I mean, if anybody else would like to call us up, then of course, please feel free. Let's see.
Do we have anything else to discuss?
Of course.
Do we not have anything else to discuss? Is this not beyond the rift?
Oh, come on, dude. It's interesting. It's very interesting. And Brandon, if you're going to call me on Perfect Rain, I guess, for right now.
Mm-hmm.
because I have everything all set up on the overlay.
Yep. And bad things will happen if we click on other things. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, Letters and Rakin quit. Rakin? Is that how you say that?
Jill Rakin.
Jill Rakin?
Jessica Rakin.
Jessica both.
Yes, me and Jessica both.
Yeah, so that leaves Cooper left.
Cooper and Fixie.
Fixie's not exactly an admin of the tournament, I don't believe.
No, but I'm sure he's
Wouldn't that be...
I'm sure he will be now, though.
Here's a question, then. Would you guys see if, since they're down on staff, and if Fixie decided he was going to step in and be as a admin for the thing, would that be a conflict of interest, seeing as he has a team in the game? Maybe? No? Anyone?
As long as he's not adminning...
Their games?
Their games.
Viper? Opinion?
Is he? So you're saying he's a part of the team?
Well,
he actually plays
he's working with WOGL, obviously. I'm just saying, if he was to step up and act like an admin now, would you see that as a conflict of interest because he's sponsoring it, casting it, and also has a team in it?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't think so either.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if we look at like these tournaments, like I guess LOL, like how I think what team throws their tournaments? You know, they have a team and they throw a tournament. It'd be like us throwing a tournament.
Yeah.
It's really up to the community if they try and say, oh, this is a biased, decision, or this isn't a bias. I guess it really comes down to, the decisions you make, and not as much as, it's immediately biased one way or another.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I mean, most games are going to be who won anyway. So, I mean,
Baby, you checked on the fire yet?
Your baby's on fire?
I tried to push it the wrong way.
That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, so we wanted to get on. Mr. Marky X here would like to comment on
current subject topic.
Our current subject topic with
not things on fire.
Right, which is not babies on fire or
in case
anything
anybody
like that.
was curious.
And so Marky, are you there now?
Senor.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
Word.
What do you have to say about this whole shenanigan?
For starters, Hi-Rez needs to get their ass up and start putting that pause feature in. That should be the first thing that need to do after all this nonsense. The second problem I have is WOGL. They shouldn't be, for starters, they were changing the rules when they were going with all this banning nonsense. Not banning nonsense, like when they were kicking Juice Gaming out. And the other problem I also have is there's always going to be problems in these type of situations, whether it's DDoS or servers going down and so forth. And the rules that were set up did not really cover their basis on that. I mean, if you look at, for example, a lot of the fighting tournaments, people bring in their custom hardware and sometimes shit happens and so forth. And they always have this one cardinal rule, which is if the two players agree, it supersedes all the other rules. And the funny part is this actually happened with this situation where Lords of War were saying, hey, Juice Gaming deserved the win. Give it to them. But then WOGL is like, no, we're totally sorry, Juice Gaming is out. And to me, I found that kind of ridiculous because they were willing to give the victory to them, but they just wouldn't do it. So, I don't know, it just feels like WOGL is sort of like dictating how the matches should be played as opposed to just letting, the two teams compete and try to win. And to me, as a spectator of all this, I don't know, I don't really view WOGL as very respectable now, and I hope that if there's any future tournaments or leagues coming out that they act a little bit more professional. Like, for starters, don't change the rules on the fly.
Yeah.
And, cover your bases, because right now, I mean, I don't view them. It's like winning a kiddie pool at this point with this league right now.
Sometimes kiddie pools are pretty expensive, especially if you get the nice ones.
Yeah, they can be. They can be. So, cool.
Just saying.
Well,
but yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, yeah.
So thank you for your call there, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say before we let you
questions,
go?
comments, concerns, questions for our guests?
Not really.
All right. That's it. Awesome. You guys are chopped meat. We'll see you later. Thanks, Marky.
Thanks, Marky. Have a good one.
That's great. So we have Kevin.
As
soon as he
the
enters.
mysterious Kevin.
Just Kevin?
Just Kevin.
No last
What's up?
name, no.
How's it
Kevin,
going, Kevin?
Do you have a in-game name that we might know you by?
Adonis. I am actually on Red Viper's team.
Brilliant.
I kind of wanted to go at it from a different perspective because
Sure.
everyone seems to be dogging on WOGL.
Right. Yeah.
I feel like it's being handled badly by both sides. Obviously, the reaction decision to ban Juice was wrong. But Juice is like obviously in streams and like just Jerby being on. I mean, I'm not trying to rag on Jerby, but he's like taking shots like, oh, we're gonna burn the jerseys, and I think it's hurting the community in both ways. Like both teams are, both WOGL and Juice.
If they want to burn the jerseys,
like
they can
I've
ship
seen
them
Reddit
away.
posts. I feel like Juice went about it in the wrong way to try to get the decision overturned. I feel like it was a bad decision and then a bad decision by Juice with how to handle it.
Okay. Valid point. I mean, it basically, I think the conclusion everybody's come to now is that this whole shenanigan could have been handled a whole lot differently by everybody. So hopefully we'll take this as a teachable moment and move on and get better from it. So thank you, WOGL, for being our test hamster on this particular incident.
Yes. So, hey, one of the ways you learn and get better is by making mistakes
and learning from other people's mistakes.
And learning from other people's mistakes.
Yes, that's how you get better.
They made the mistake, so we don't have to.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. Anything else, Kevin?
No, that was it.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. All right. DopeHoneyBadger. It looks like you are
about to fall asleep.
rearing to go. Like you really want to talk about something.
It's 4 a.m. here, so but I can hang out. It's no problem. I'm just waiting for my time to shine.
So should we talk about the reason gaming getting their spectator mode revoked? I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
That's dangerous subject.
Yeah, it's not really.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much.
There's a really.
And there was an abuse. They removed it. That was that.
Yeah, it was a funny thing.
Good on high res for
the
catching
people
it.
who had spectator mode when it first came out, there was a really frustrating issue where if you didn't move close enough to the ground for like two or 3 minutes, you got disconnected. Which, as you can imagine, spectating a game from the top, not generally close to the ground. So people were getting constantly disconnected. So they took away. So people that had spectator mode were immune to
deserter status.
Deserter status, because otherwise they could have never spectated anything.
Right.
Until they fixed it, and it was just left over from that. So that's where that came from. In case you were wondering, it was a very frustrating bug.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that you had to get close to the ground; it was that you had to follow somebody.
Yeah.
It was some weird bug with that you if you didn't follow somebody within 5 minutes or something like that, it would just disconnect you. So,
yep.
So anyway, anything else that we want to discuss? Anybody that would like to call us up and yell at us about anything? Please, by all means, do. Other than that,
or if you have any other Smite things, like how's Loki? What do you guys think about Loki? It's been a week.
Are you enjoying him? Alakite?
It's pretty fun. I feel like he's either you go in and one-shot someone or you get one-shot in. Basically, don't get stunned or you die.
So he's super squishy and super killy.
Yeah.
He's
he would be
high risk.
He would be the person that you would take to a draw because he would either shoot you or he would get shot, and there you go, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking a draw where people put their backs together and take 10 paces, not like we both win or both lose or both suck. Anyway.
Or the house wins and you both lose your money.
Yeah, that too. Dope. What do you think about Loki a week later after getting to play him more?
Well, I think it was fun to play in arena because of the true damage, but I don't know. I don't really like him now because he doesn't. It's a bit harder to kill people, so I don't like it.
Yeah, the true damage. You're like, he appears behind me, I lose 2/3 of my health.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
that was just so funny, like one-shot people with 1,000 something damage.
Which means I should feel even worse for the fact that I couldn't kill my son very quickly as Loki against Spec.
Exactly, that game was horrible.
Okay, Viper, what do you think?
Our nights.
What do you think about Loki?
I don't know, like, when he was overpowered, it was really fun to just, I guess, pub stomp. It was, I mean, what was it, like, the first game I went, like, 28-2 maybe or something like that.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh, he's getting nerfed real fast. And then after the hotfix, he's actually, I don't know, I guess I'd have to play him more. He seems a lot more week, I guess. I played him, was expecting to one-shot somebody. I go in, get killed pretty quickly, so I guess he's going to be pretty situational, I think, now. So I'm not sure how he's going to work with team comps. He's got a couple of strong lanes right now, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see.
So where do you guys see him in a competitive scene? Is he there, or is he just kind of not really a picked person for a competitive?
I don't think he will be anymore ever since the hotfix until they find, I guess, a good lane for him. I think he's going to be a late game. He's really weak early. I think he's going to be like a Hell, like really weak early game. But if he's super, super farmed, I think he's going to be super strong late game. But I think getting him farmed is going to be the hard part because people will focus him.
Okay. Alakite, do you agree, disagree?
I don't know. It was really entertaining watching Juice and their scrim against, I don't know who it was, but they were running Loki Freya, I believe. It was actually pretty cool to watch it happen, and they got pretty fed with Loki, especially since he was one-shotting the buff camps and basically able to take the buffs insanely fast. So I don't know. I still think he might have a place. We'll have to see where some of the where some of the teams, go with him from this point. He could still be a pretty good person in competitive play. I thought Freya was niche, but I've been seeing her actually run quite a bit more lately. So, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he has a very interesting set of abilities.
Yeah.
And he's very squishy.
Very squishy. Very squishy.
So,
well, hey,
it'll be fun. I mean, we've seen how the meta evolves, and sometimes gods like that will come into use.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
They are there for you to try.
Very true. Very true.
Ying.
So, I guess that about wraps it up. Anybody else have anything else they want to talk about?
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Call now or forever hold your peace, because they are getting married. I don't know whom, but they will.
All of them.
All of them. Wait, we have a...
Wait, hey.
Last minute
cool.
caller.
We have a caller about Loki.
Opinions about Loki.
That is Trolley Polly.
Gortank? Gortok? Hello.
Gortok.
Hey
guys.
How's it going, man?
He's my mid on my team.
Oh, wait a second. Let me close the stream. Okay.
Yes.
Please do that. That will be very confusing very quickly.
Well, I got some opinions about Loki, and I think he's... I don't know, you guys say he's so weak early game. I think he's really strong. With his... you get lane control with your two, if you get your 2, or you can actually almost go and one-shot someone with your 3, I've done it several times. And also, what's really fun when you play mid, you get turn minions and use your 3, and people can't outrun the minions, and you can get a really early tower there as well. I think I got it at 130 with Loki.
Ooh. Interesting.
You hear that, Baz? 130 with Loki.
But my record with Emir was 1 minute and 8 seconds.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah.
It's interesting that you got it more quickly with Ymir than Loki.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the stun, I guess. I don't know. It was very situational. Anyways, I think Loki is one of those gods who isn't really affected by, if he's fed or not, sort of, because, I mean, his skills are so strong. I haven't really tested it too much after the nerf, though. That's probably why, but he's so strong, even if it's a couple of levels under the god he's facing, unless it's a tank, I would still just man up and kill him, basically. I just feel he was so strong. I don't know, I haven't checked him after the nerf too much, though.
Interesting. I do approve.
Yeah, thank you for the information. Yeah.
You're welcome. Yes.
All right.
Thank you again. Call back anytime.
Well, anytime. Sure. Yeah. And I think that about wraps it up for us.
Yep, it does.
I
do believe it does.
Wraps it up. So you guys have been watching Beyond the Rift, sponsored by BL Gaming. And
what is this accent?
What?
What the hell are you doing, sir?
Dude, just go with it.
Just go with it?
So you can find us at blgaming.com and check out our other shows. We got articles, guides,
I
a whole
need to
bunch
post
of
my
other
link
stuff.
for my show.
Yes, you do.
Oh!
Yes,
wait
it's
for
a bit
it.
late now.
Well, I mean, I
Also,
don't want them to watch it while we're doing our show, you jerk.
That's a fair point. Also, we'll screw it up already. Thanks, guys. And also, Demon started a new weekly thing where he's doing a quick weekly roundup of the news. It's
Yes.
rather interesting, and
you guys should all check it out. It's terrible. It's absolutely awful. It's only 4 minutes and 49 seconds, so I don't take that much of your life. But of course, I'm going to add things like graphics. I'm going to add some noise, music, or whatever, a better intro, stuff like that. This was literally that video that I just posted in chat is literally what I did in like 40 minutes. I came in here, turned on everything, recorded it, which took me like 30 minutes, and then it spent 10 minutes editing it and then uploaded it in about 30 seconds. So that was good.
Upload speed. So yes, thank you guys for joining us. Alakite, did you have any shout outs for
Yes, sir,
our
Alakite.
audience?
Not really. I mean,
Where can they find you at when you're doing your casting?
Yeah.
Twitch TV/Alakite.
Yeah, I'll link it in chat. I don't
Or,
like advertising.
Yes.
Twitch TV/Hi-Res Studios or whatever it is.
What?
When he casts for the
ESL?
ESL.
Did you cast on the high-res stream when you did ESL?
No, not that one.
No.
I was just doing it on mine. Got like
Okay.
150 people though, so.
Sweet.
Very nice. Golf clap. Golf clap.
I'm gonna
Dope
try
Honey
to talk
Badger.
to ESL now.
Where are you?
Hopefully that goes somewhere.
Yes, hopefully it does. Where are you located, sir? And do you have any shout-outs? Dope.
Honey Badger.
Where I'm located?
Well, I mean, like,
mean my
your stream, your Twitter, anything
stream?
like that.
Well, I can post my stream, and it's a Dope Minister, and you can just click my name because linking is too much work.
Oh.
So
Yeah, it's very difficult
It's
linking.
Dope Minister? I always thought it was Dope Meesterstein.
Meesterstein?
No, that's not what the letter says. Actually, it's
That's not
Dope
what it
Minister,
says.
But
That's not what that spells, Steven.
Shout out to my team. No longer Team Dynamite, by the way. We're changing our team name to VVGT. That's too bad. A bit BM, but I don't know. I'm Danish, by the way, for the viewers asking. And shout out to Letters for being a good man and a real person.
A real person.
He's not a...
I'm a real boy.
That's all my loyal viewers that comes to me every single day. I love you all, and yeah, that's about it.
Yes, I am one of those loyal viewers because you entertain me while I'm at work.
Nice.
All right,
Yeah.
RedV1per. Where can we find you? What do you do? How do you have any shout-outs? All that fun stuff.
I guess just shout-outs to my team, Adonis, Roboku, Physics, Lunar Virus. Just the guys. You can find us in our Nub Skills right there. I linked it in the chat there. And also just wanted to compliment you guys for, this show. Like it's I like the fact that you guys have this because it really is good for the community. And like I said, I want the community to grow, and stuff like this needs to be more of a regular thing so that this community can grow. And I thank you guys for the opportunity to be here and for your hard work that you guys are putting into it.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, we do this for the community. I mean, that's why I try to have... We were supposed to have Sio on tonight, but, this gave us a great opportunity to get you guys on. So that then leads into the segue of I'm going to start getting on random team captains every week. So, we'll have maybe a guest that has a particular issue like BLG.eu because they won the tournament, but we'll also get at least one or two, team captains from unknown teams to let you guys get your names out there and, become more known. Be like, I'm participating in this. We suck, but we're giving it a good old college try. And it's going to be great because now, hopefully, lots of people will come and watch Team Explanity lose to BL Gaming North America. That's just how it's got to work. I mean, I gotta stay with my team, of course. So,
Yeah, of course.
and then you guys can win every other game, just not against us.
Right.
So thank you all so very much for joining us. Thank you guys, all the viewers.
Time.
I love you guys for showing up. It's just more people come every week, and it makes me so happy. Oh, yeah. Make sure to tell all your friends next Thursday, 9 o'clock. You know where to be. Actually, you can come and show up at 8:30 because we're usually here. Thank you very much for joining us, and we will go and
talk to you later.
Yes, we will.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
No problem.
Oh.